What's up, guys? It's Matt. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is completely new to me. This is my first video. I just wanted to come on here and make a simple video on my vinyl collection because I've seen so many videos on my YouTube of people showing off theirs. So I wanted to, introduce myself and also show off my collection because I'm very proud of it. It's slowly becoming an obsession now. I don't have a crap ton. I'm not going to steal a lot of your time. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you get through it all. Hopefully I don't bore you, but I have quite a few. I've started back in 2021, but I never really got into it like crazy like I am now until like July of this year. And I've gotten so many. So just very briefly, I wanted to explain why I collect vinyls. I've seen a lot of reasons why. The main reason I've seen other people is just the big artwork and to be able to display the album covers, which I totally agree with. I love that aspect of it. I've basically turned mine into picture frame replacements, basically. I mean, I have my whole wall over here covered in them. So that is a huge aspect of that, but I also love having the physical copy of things, especially music, and the way that everything even works fascinates me. I don't know how you get a needle and vibrations to do that, but it's fantastic, and I love the colors of all the pressings and everything. It's a very expensive hobby. It's not the greatest, but I'm proud of it, and I'm going to get into it. There's a lot of them that I can't display up here, so I'm going to start with those, and I'll be right back. Alright, so starting off with the ones that I can't display. Before I start, I just want to say I don't want to take up too much of your time, so if I don't have a story directly connected to one of these, I'm just going to tell you what it is, the type of pressing it is, and then move on. But with that being said, my very first one, not the first vinyl I have, but the first one I'm going to show you, is OneRepublic's Human. And I got this as a birthday present right before I went to see them in concert 2 years ago. I had never, listened to any of their albums in full length. I've just heard their singles on the radio like every child did when they were growing up. It's on black. It's just a regular black pressing. But they were so good in concert, and I'm so glad my sister got me this. It's a really good album, in my opinion. Next up, if y'all know my dad, which most of you probably don't, but you might. Anyway, my dad was in a band, and they played a lot of 80s, and I grew up basically with this playing in the car all the time, especially on the way to and from baseball tournaments, so I know every song on this darn near. And for some weird reason, I know all the words, right? But I don't know why, but I love like singing the guitar solo, if that makes sense. And that's probably the favorite part of the songs for me, and I've always done that since I was little too. It's so weird. But anyway, this next one's going to start a trend, a long trend of the same artist, and that would be Logic. Now, a lot of people don't like Logic. It's a very easy thing to hate on, but I mean, look at this. This is Bobby Tarantino 3. Now, it's not the greatest of the Bobby Tarantino series, if you've heard of those. I mean, tell me that's not one of the dopest things that you've ever seen. I mean, that's just so sick in my opinion. And it's on a black pressing. But I just love Logic, and you're going to see a very big trend start happening right now. So, speaking of that, we have Logic's College Park. I pre-ordered this as soon as it came on his merch shop because I love him so much. I hadn't even heard the album. The album doesn't come out, or it didn't at the time until 2 months later. But I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. Emerald green with black splatter. I mean, it's beautiful. Now, the album itself, It's not my favorite. It's still a great project though. Now this is Everybody, and I have been on an obsession. Not as much now, but over the summer, you could not make me stop listening to this album. And growing up, I didn't understand the message as much, and I only knew a couple songs. And I still loved the songs, but now, knowing the message, now I don't agree with everything that he talks about in the album, but the message itself is beautiful. The concept of the storyline and everything is amazing. I love this album with my whole heart. And finally, to round off the ones that I cannot display, this one makes me sad, but it's so thick that I can't put a sleeve on it. And that would be The Incredible True Story by Logic. Now, this is the holy grail of projects by Logic for most of the fans, and that would include me as well. I absolutely love this. I grew up with every single song on here. Fade Away, Upgrade, Lord Willin', Run It, Intermission, especially Contact. I have a really annoying story with Contact. If you don't know, that's the intro to the album, and he didn't have any lyrics in that song. It was just instrumental, and back when there was no streaming services, you had to buy everything individually, or the whole album, but individually for $1.30 a piece. And I previewed it on iTunes, loved the beat, bought it, spent $1.30 as a 12-year-old, and there was no actual lyrics. I was so upset with that. But then I listened to it on YouTube, and I loved it. I mean, look at that. That's just beautiful. But I can't sleeve it, sadly. I need to get a bigger one. But that is the ones that I cannot display. And I'm going to get those ones off the wall, and I'll be right back. Continuing the Logic trend, we have Under Pressure, his first project. A lot of people consider this better than The Incredible True Story. A lot of them interchange them. They're both phenomenal projects. I just prefer The Incredible True Story over this, but I grew up with both of them. So it was just a wonderful time to be alive back then when he was dropping banger after banger. Now, another Logic album. This is his most recent one, Ultra 85. And for fans who have been with him for many years will know that Ultra 85, we never thought it was going to happen. And this is the holy grail conceptually of Logic. And man, did it live up to my hype. In my opinions, it's a phenomenal album. I love every second of it. And I mean, look at that. That is just gorgeous. Now this one, is not the greatest pressing that I could have gotten. If I could show you the other two, or the other one, it looks a lot better. Now, this is the last Logic one, but this is the first vinyl I ever bought, but there's two of them that was in that time frame. The same day I bought this one, I bought another one, which will be next. So I got two the first time I ever bought a vinyl. So the first out of those two will be Logic's No Pressure. A lot of people consider this his comeback album after Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. He didn't have the greatest reputation for making music, but I liked it. Not every song, but I did overall like the project. Now this brought people back that loved the old Logic, and if he would have retired off of this, he would have went out on an insane high, but I'm so glad that he didn't, because we wouldn't have had a lot more great projects like Ultra 85 before this. The second one I got that day was Justice by Justin Bieber with the red alternate cover and the gray pressing. I really love this album, and I saw it in the store and I bought it. That's really all I have to say about that. Next up, we have one of my favorite artists. A lot of these are my favorite artists because that's just who I like to collect. And that will be NF's Hope. I'm so glad that he's in a happier state than he was, because, man, his music was depressing. and I listened to it in the middle of COVID as well, along with No Pressure. And when you listen to sad music, it makes you sad. So you relate really well to him. And I'm just glad we're both in a happier state. But this is on white. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really pretty pearl white. And lastly of this group, and then we'll move on to the last section, is Zach Bryan by Zach Bryan. This album reminds me of Kentucky. This album came out my freshman year last year in August, and it got me through a really stressful time. If people have just started college, you know it's a really big change, especially if you go out of state and you're away from everybody that you've ever known. You're in a whole new environment. I mean, as soon as I put my AirPods in and put this song or this album on, every stressful situation just went out the door, and I was just listening to phenomenal music that brought me peace. So I love this album, especially East Side of Sorrow. And we'll move on to the last section. All right, y'all. Made it to the last section. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I'm not too boring. Let's get through this. So this one I just got yesterday, and it's American Heartbreak by Zach Bryan. I wasn't the biggest Zach Bryan fan until that album I showed you probably 5 seconds ago after I've edited this. I really enjoy it. There's a couple songs that are a little bit iffy for me, but a lot of them are phenomenal in my opinion, and probably a lot of people's opinion. Next up, this is a birthday gift this year. Twisters, the album, phenomenal movie. I love Glenn Powell. This is on a really cool, I'm gonna call it dusty pressing. I mean, come on. The first song on this album by Luke Combs makes you feel like a man. Luke Combs put something crazy in this song. I don't know what it is, but it makes you feel like the manliest man on planet Earth. Rounding out the country aspect is Dangerous by Morgan Wallen on a really pretty baby blue pressing. This album brings out so many emotions in me. There's something about it, I don't know. It just brings back every emotion I ever felt in sophomore to junior year of high school. More Than My Hometown, 7 Summers. I feel so much. Just thinking about it makes me feel so many emotions. I love this album, and there's so many songs on it, it's insane. Now, these last 3 are arguably my favorite people on planet Earth. No, I'm gonna take that back. The last guy I just now found out, but this man, Benson Boone, one of my favorite human beings ever. This man is amazing. He's such a wonderful guy, and I have a buddy who knows him personally, and I would give the world to sing with this man. If I had the confidence to do so, I would do it. Sadly, I don't. Maybe. I don't know if I will one day, but it's on beautiful, beautiful red ruby pressing. This album is just phenomenal. I mean, if you haven't heard Fireworks and Rollerblades yet, please listen to it. I mean, Benson is so good at singing, man. And next up, we have Brandon Lake, Coat of Many Colors. Look at that mint green pressing. Now, this album, I had just proclaimed my faith in Jesus in October of last year, and this album helped me grow in that time. And man, Brandon Lake has the voice of an angel, dude. He has the voice of God coming through him. I love him. If I could sing with him or Benson in my lifetime, that would be incredible. I just have to build up the courage to even do that. I don't even know if I'd take the opportunity. And lastly, this one is a bit weird for me, I think. I liked One Direction growing up, but I never thought I would like one of the guys from that specifically. And no, it's not Harry Styles. Although I really like Harry Styles and some of his songs, I don't think I've listened to an entire album fully through and enjoyed it as much as I have The Show by Niall Horan. Man, this thing, it's my obsession right now. I'm not kidding you. I heard this album for the first time on Monday. It is now Friday. And I now have the Encore vinyl on red. And the other disc is on a cream color. There is something in this that scratches every part of my brain in the best way possible. And I cannot get enough of it. I don't understand. It makes me move and groove. That's so cringy, but I'm not kidding. I never thought ever in my lifetime that I would have anything like this. But I have one more. I almost forgot about it. Can't forget about it. It's super important. I'll be right back. And last but not least is probably one of the greatest gifts I've ever received in my lifetime. And that is a custom vinyl from my girlfriend that has all of the songs that we love and have claimed to be our song. As you know, if you have a significant other, you will claim many songs as your own, and you won't be able to pick one. But there are 18 songs, 12 songs on this, and all of them encapsulate us phenomenally. So that's my last album. I hope y'all enjoyed. This was so fun making. I never thought I would be making a YouTube video, but here I am. So if y'all want to comment, especially, like the video, please. But if y'all want to comment and give me video suggestions y'all want to see, I don't know if I'll do them. If it's fun, I'll do it, but especially if I have time. But if you guys want to subscribe, that'd be great as well. I'm not kidding. Drop ideas in the comments. I'll be happy to look through them and figure out something I can do. But I thank y'all so much for watching until this point. Hopefully I didn't bore you. Hopefully it's not too long. But I love y'all. Jesus loves y'all. And I'll see you later. Peace.